What is up, Texas A&M Aggies fans? Welcome into another Texas A&M Aggies Daily Blitz here on FanStream Sports. Welcome into the program. Welcome into the show. Welcome to the network if you haven't been here before. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share the video with other Aggies fans that you have. Let's grow this thing as we get into 2023 Texas A&M Aggies football. We talked a little bit about the New Mexico Lobos game in a couple of previous episodes as we get the show rolling back here since it is football season. After a little bit of time off, we apologize for that. But hey, it's football season again. So let's kick it off again with some Miami Hurricanes football as the Aggies head out to Hard Rock Stadium on Saturday to play the Miami Hurricanes. They're in Miami Gardens. And, you know, this one, I talked a little bit about it yesterday during the little mini Monday preview that it's going to be obviously a tougher matchup for the Aggies, but it's going to be a tougher matchup for the Hurricanes as well, as they just had the Miami of Ohio Redhawks in their first game last Friday night. Of course, A&M with the New Mexico Lobos. Both could be considered cream puff teams for the Aggies and for Miami, and that's fine. Call it a bit of a preseason tune-up if you want before they play each other and kind of kick off the actual part of the schedule against each other. It's at 2:30, of course, on Saturday. It'll be on ABC nationally. And, of course, the Aggies are coming off that 52-10 blowout win over New Mexico. Connor Weigman became the first player in Aggies history to throw 5 touchdown passes in the season opener. Wide receiver Noah Thomas finished with 3 touchdowns in his kind of coming out party. He just had 2 touchdowns all of last season, and he gets 3 in the opener here this year. And, of course, fellow sophomore Evan Stewart led the way with 115 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. So, really, all eyes are going to be on the Aggies to see if they can recreate that high-octane attack in Week 2 against a more motivated Miami team, I think, than, of course, what Miami was motivated in Week 1. And, you know, they're coming off their own blowout win, 38-3 over the Redhawks, as I mentioned last weekend. Tyler Van Dyke, their quarterback, threw a touchdown on his very first pass of the game. He ended up going 17-22 for 201 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have 1 pick. Connor Weigman, of course, 0 picks in his collegiate career. He had 8 touchdowns, no picks last year, 5 touchdowns, no picks in game 1 this year. So he's off to a roaring start. That we would really like to see that trend continue, of course, with him. But the Hurricanes offense looked really balanced with new offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson. They're running back by committee. They had 4 running backs that carried the ball. 3 of them had touchdowns. All of them had at least 1 run of more than 15 yards. And 3 of those running backs had more than 40 yards running. So the lines aren't out yet as far as betting goes. The early spread is A&M by 4 points, which is interesting since they're on the road there in Miami. There is no money line yet. The initial total at 49.5 points. I mean, I'd kind of have to be inclined to take the over right now if you're looking at that as far as, from a betting standpoint. But early, we know injuries for both teams. Of course, Donovan Green is out with that ACL. The other tight end, Max Wright, he's questionable. He suffered a toe injury against the Lobos. So he's questionable going into the game. And, of course, wide receiver Micah Tease out indefinitely due to that suspension from the arrest there in College Station last week. For Miami, running one of their many running backs, Trayvonte Citizen is questionable with a knee. Tight end Elijah Arroyo also questionable with a knee. Last season, looking at this, the Aggies edged out the Hurricanes 17-9. That was at College Station. This game, of course, this week will be in Miami Gardens. But the Aggies totaled just 264 yards of offense, and this Hurricanes team, I think, is better than what the Hurricanes were last year. But so are the Aggies, I think. So it should balance out. The Aggies are going to have a more talented and probably a little more high-powered offense against against what they had last season. But you know, as I mentioned, the Hurricanes are also a little bit more improved from last year. But I still look for the Aggies and Bobby Petrino to keep the kind of what do they say, the pedal to the metal as far as the offense goes in week 2 against the Hurricanes, because that's really their forte. Their forte for a long time has been defense, and they still have a great defense. Make no mistake, but I think the Aggies are trying to make a statement here and move to 2-0 there at Hard Rock. You know, again, they're going to get a fight, way bigger fight from the Hurricanes than they did against the Lobos, and that's fine. We expect that. The Aggies aren't going to play cream puffs all year. You got some tough SEC opponents coming up. LSU maybe doesn't look as great as we thought they might after their opening game loss, but to Florida State. But, you know, I think the Aggies will have enough firepower here to get things done. I'm not going to make any predictions until we get into probably Thursday or Friday's show. I will let you guys know what my prediction is. Excuse me. But as I mentioned, that 49.5 total that's there so far, unless that changes, boy, I'd be really inclined to take that over. That's going to be real tempting for you. But anyway, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on Aggies Hurricanes as we enter the week here. You can let me know here in the YouTube comments. Find me on Twitter at IndyCar Timm. The show is at fanstreamsports.com. You can download the FanStream Sports app today. Hear all of our great shows looped, as well as any live program that we have on the network. We'll also be at fanstreamsports.com and live on the app. I am IndyCar Timm. We'll do it again on Wednesday. And until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.